Imagine an AI system that reads all your team's Slack messages, looks who is burned out, and then reassigns their tasks accordingly. It does risk management on the background, all without you lifting a finger. Sounds like a project management AI paradise, right? And all AI companies are selling you this exact lie. I know this causes a lot of anxiety because you don't know if you will keep your job in a year or two. That's why in this video I want to break down what AI can actually do right now or in the near future for your project. What is real and what is hype. And stay until the end because I'll tell you what are the main indicators to tell when AI will move from being hype to being reality in project management. And let's start right away from automated resource allocation and leveling. Is it reality or hype? And here I want you to be very careful and listen to these indicators because when they shift, that's when we'll see a dramatic change in how AI manages projects. The idea here is simple. AI knows what tasks to allocate to each team member based on their skill sets, availability, and even motivation. And on top of that, ideally it should be able to negotiate resource allocation across different metrics organizations. Technically, this is very close to reality. So we already have a popular tool called Motion, which basically builds your calendar for you based on the tasks and their priorities and other meetings that you have. But there is a caveat, and now again, listen very careful because this is a great indicator. What we have in reality is that right now, everyone should agree that AI knows better what tasks you should do. But it creates a very important conflict. So what should be the main goal of this AI system? Is it all about finishing the project on time within budget no matter what? So imagine this AI system has assigned all the tasks to developers and your team members, but someone from the top asks you to give a status update. And you cannot reach out to your developers because they're fully booked and AI doesn't allow you to do that. As a result, this AI system doesn't care about your career or your boss's career because they need this information. You cannot distract the people because they have already those tasks allocated. But there is a second problem. Now we need to agree that AI knows better and we actually become slaves to that AI. And now the third problem appears. How should we stay motivated just by knowing that some soulless thing assigns tasks to us, and if we don't do them, it will impact our performance reviews and our success? So for this AI system to work, there should be a very complex social agreement across the whole corporate world that AI knows better, everyone should do what AI tells you, and then there shouldn't be these disruptions from the higher-ups who can override this AI system. Plus, we'll have to completely rethink the motivation and reward system in this case. Alright, let's move on to second point. So, automated risk management by AI. Is it hype or reality today or in the nearest future? By the way, while we discuss this part, pay close attention because I'll tell you what to look for in project management tool that will give you the most from its AI capabilities. Overall idea of this system is straightforward again. It looks on everything that happens on a project and analyzes for the risks as we usually do it on meetings, on brainstorming sessions, and maybe when you are soloing it through your checklists and your project plan and so on. But AI does it automatically all the time with any update. And right now it's a huge hype for one critical limitation, which is your project context. You see, like we have a lot of project management documentation, but a lot of information is stored in our conversations. Yes, now we have transcripts and we potentially can use that as additional data point. But there is again these human interactions where we have even like non-verbal signals from our facial expressions, from how we agree with things, how we solve conflicts and so on. This is not something that AI can capture. Today, it's a partial reality, so AI is very good at understanding patterns and typical risks from the isolated features or pieces of work that we do. But there are a lot of these external or global strategic risks, like someone changes priority in the organization and it's basically a risk for a set of projects. And now AI system needs to know everything that happens in the organization and probably in the world as well. So unless we find a solution to consume all this context from different sources and mediums and put them into the system, and this model can reiterate over it, this is still a hype. In isolated cases, you can use LLMs for risk management. I really suggest doing that. But we are very far from this automated AI risk management that will continuously identify and proactively solve those risks. By the way, if you want to see more videos about AI in project management, hit the like button. It will give me a great indication that you are interested in this topic. Alright, topic number 3. An emotionally intelligent AI system that can analyze sentiment and therefore manage people and stakeholders. Again, idea is that AI monitors the conversations in Slack, in emails, and tries to identify the morale of the team, who is engaged, who is disengaged, and how to influence stakeholders to make the right decisions or resolve conflicts. Okay, this is total hype, because current LLMs that we have are built in such a way that they lack emotional intelligence, and it's a fundamental limitation of these systems. You see, large language models like the ones that you use in ChatGPT or Gemini, they are basically a sophisticated prediction machine. It predicts what next word to put in the sentence next. And even if it tells you that, oh, I totally understand how you feel, that's not true. That's just the most probable response to what you say. Potentially, an AI system can identify the drop in performance or satisfaction and take some superficial actions to boost your motivation, like giving you a day off or some bonus or send you a present, but that's it. But in the long run, it will work once or twice on a given person, but after that, they will crave for real human engagement and understanding of what's going on in their life. And again, think about it from a different perspective. You need to basically give this input to an AI system and tell them that, hey, I don't feel very productive or satisfied right now. And what this system will do. Will it find a solution to get you motivated, or will it go to HR and get you fired because your performance is low? And that's another topic that probably we should discuss when you apply any AI system to human beings. We assume that applying AI is for the good of employees, for their morale, for their well-being, work-life balance. But in the real world, that's not true. You see that AI is like the cause of massive layoffs. And there is a lot of anxiety about how AI will replace people. And don't think that that will disappear when we get more advanced AI solutions. Any business is a cold-hearted system. It doesn't care about people, it cares about its survival. So if they run out of money, the business dies. And AI systems in that business will always prioritize keeping the business alive. Next, let's talk about using AI to produce better requirements. Is it hype or reality? And if you are a business analyst or a product owner, listen carefully because it has serious impact on you. So the idea of this system is that AI collects information from different sources and transform them into user stories, epics, or some PRDs or requirements, whatever documentation you use on your project. I think this is a reality that already happened. AI can produce better requirements and much faster requirements than a human being. And unfortunately, that means that business analysts and a lot of project managers at the junior level who spend a lot of time collecting requirements and putting them into the system will be outdated. You see, even right now, if you have even free subscription to ChatGPT or Gemini, and you will run a very structured requirements meeting where you will talk through all the nuances of an epic or a piece of functionality and then just feed it with bit of prompting, it will output perfect user stories. It can also analyze your discussion and give you some indicators on the gaps and requirements that you missed or things that you need to consider on top of what you provided, based on all the information about all the applications that it learned on the internet. And in general, I see that agentic AI can take over this function very easily, where you assign certain people to a topic, and this agent goes and collects their thoughts on it through just meetings or written notes, and then combines them into a piece of requirements, breaks it down into user stories, and maybe even upload them to Jira right away. Overall, I'm pretty sure that I can build a very simple agentic AI system even today, which will go out and ask assigned people to provide their thoughts through voice, and I will transcribe that and put it through a prompt to create user stories. It's quite doable even with the simple tools that we have right now. This brings us to the overall idea. So how far are we from AI project manager that will lead projects for us, or at least with us hand in hand? Hopefully, from our conversation, you notice that we are quite far away from this overall AI project management, and I hope that your anxiety level goes down a bit. We won't be replaced anytime soon. The biggest problem is that any AI system will lack the whole context of the project. Even if we start feeding everything into it, a lot of things will happen not through the mediums that AI can easily capture in bulk, in mass. Second, it will lack the context of the whole organization, and now, as you can see, it becomes a massive pool of data it should process every single day. Then, for an AI system to work correctly with human beings, we actually need to change the way that we organize our work and get paid and rewarded for this work. And last but not least, until we get to the point where LLMs have true emotional intelligence, it will be very hard to maintain the motivation and performance of people inside these projects. But that's not all. Here's a bigger problem that I want you to consider. Because when we analyze whether it's hype or reality in the current project management world, we assume one very important thing. We basically try to apply AI to the current project management approaches, frameworks, and the ways we do it. You see, we assume that there is no better way to run projects with AI than with an old software development lifecycle, plan-driven, and agile frameworks. Let's imagine a bit different organization where we work in a very small team, and we are isolated. We don't have these external dependencies and risks. A small team will create a very small piece of value, and then AI will sort out how to connect this small piece to another small piece and then to the next small piece without dependencies, by building the chain of requirements. Stakeholders can still adjust the requirements on regular basis, and AI will try to put them into the separate teams and then combine them into the final output. You see, and this is just one idea out of the top of my head, but maybe there will be even better organization that we can think through and apply AI and put AI in the center of the project management. So why it's important? Because it doesn't matter how these systems will develop, you will need to know how to use AI and those tools. That's why I recommend that you watch this video next. It will teach you all the skills that a project manager needs to know in 2026 to stay employable in the future. Click the video now and I'll talk to you there.